Hi, what's going on, guys? I hope watching you all. Lumers to North in Plafonce, but in English, the Northern Lights is starting 4 minutes. Just after 4 minutes, you're gonna see the different thing here. So here is only 10 seconds left. 6, 5, 4.
We hope you enjoy the show. Canada is the expression of a nation's vision, its hopes and its spirit under great open skies. Le Canada est l'incarnation de l'esprit et des idées en histoire. If we would know something of the future, we have only to look at our past. Notre passé illumine notre avenir. The first Canadian Parliament stood on the same hill for 50 years. Emblème des rêves et des aspirations de toute une nation, le premier Parlement voit une fin tragique. Take the documents! The fire intensified, fanned to a raging inferno by strong winter winds from the north. Attisé par les vents du nord, le feu devient infernal. Someone! Close the fire doors! One man's quick thinking saved our early memories. D'un simple geste, nos mémoires sont préservées. Only the library survived, but more than smoke rose from the ashes. The sparks ascending from the rubble that cold winter night carried the spirit of Canada aloft. Tout autour de la bibliothèque miraculée, l'âme du Canada renaît. The story that will unfold tonight emerges from the pages of these 5 books. Ces 5 livres nous feront traverser toute une épopée. D'une beauté et d'une richesse inégalée, le Canada attire des gens depuis toujours. A land of beauty and great wealth in resources and people. Cette richesse nous vient de la terre, bien sûr, mais surtout des peuples qui y ont prospéré. Mutual interest and the desire for firm tools and knowledge motivated the first exchanges. Europeans were drawn by the bounty of the sea. Le poisson et la terre attirent les premiers Européens, dont les Acadiens, qui la feront leur en façonnant des sols alors incultivables. French settlers transformed the land they called Acadia. Mais les bouleversements politiques de l'Europe les arracheront bientôt à l'Acadie. Turmoil in Europe reached across the Atlantic. Families, whole communities were uprooted in exile. Struggle for control gripped North America. Territory held by France was ceded to Britain after the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. L'Amérique du Nord s'embrase et la France cède ses colonies aux Britanniques. French culture flourished all across Canada. La langue française et sa culture perdurent. Même l'étoile de l'âme acadienne brille toujours, résiliente, enrichissant notre pays. Car malgré l'exil, ils sont nombreux à revenir. Loyalty and the yearning for freedom fed powerful urges. Les Américains fidèles à la couronne britannique trouvent ici refuge et liberté. Those who remained loyal to the British crown after America's struggle for independence fled north and found a new home. Qu'on soit du haut ou du bas Canada, le désir de protéger nos foyers est déjà fort quand les Américains se mettent à convoiter nos terres en 1812. In the War of 1812, English and French-speaking farmers took up arms alongside British regulars, black men who had fled north to freedom, and thousands of First Nations warriors. Ensemble, les habitants du Haut et du Bas Canada repoussent l'ennemi et protègent leurs frontières. Canada has always meant home. It has meant strength, freedom, and pride of place under great northern skies. Ce sont des gens d'ici et de partout qui, ensemble, bâtissent le Canada. People from all over the world expand our foundations as our country continues to grow. The country's vast resources would certainly create enormous opportunity. For some, a better life for all would require cooperation and democracy.
Drive back the rebels!
Canada leads second rebellion in Montreal! Les volontaires repoussent les rebelles et brûlent la prison!
325 dead! 99 rebels sentenced to death!
The Legislative Assembly attempted to restore peace by offering pardons to former rebels and compensation for damage to homes and farms.
Pour rétablir la paix, le gouverneur donne son appui au principe de gouvernement responsable et à la loi dédommageant les propriétaires pour les pertes subies. Les loyalistes sont furieux et se rassemblent à la place d'armes.
Thousands of loyalists gather at Place d'Armes to protest the rebellion bosses' bill!
We must send a petition to the Queen in London. The time for petitions is over. It's time to march on the House of Assembly.
Les membres de l'Assemblée fuient le Parlement blanc!
Rioters claim victory!
Canada's new experiment in responsible government survived the 1849 riot. The colonies began to speak of greater cooperation and confederation. Après les émeutes de 1849, les colonies s'ouvrent à une collaboration d'autant plus nécessaire devant la menace américaine.
The Americans have ambitions for our western territories. Britain may soon abandon us.
Colonial leaders gathered in Charlottetown and Quebec City in 1864 and 1865 to discuss plans for a federal union between the colonies. Les dirigeants des colonies négocient la création d'une union fédérale.
we arrived here today, crowds of people were on board, going to the delegates' ball tonight.
Entre les festivités et les banquets, les délégués travaillent pendant 4 jours à définir ensemble les principes de la Confédération.
We are gathered here to address the agitations in our country and the fierce contests, the strife and the discord and the abuse of many years.
Plus tard à Québec, les délégués poursuivent les négociations. Leaders continued their negotiations where they agreed upon the 72 resolutions that formed the basis of the new Dominion of Canada. When the Quebec City Conference concluded, George Brown excitedly wrote to his wife Anne.
All right. At 6 o'clock this evening, the Constitution was adopted. It is a most creditable document, a complete reform of all the abuses and injustices we have complained of. Hurrah!
Quelques gens ont prétendu qu'il était impossible de faire fonctionner la Confédération par suite des différences de race et de religion. C'est précisément en conséquence de cette variété de races, d'intérêts locaux, que le système fédéral doit être établi et qu'il fonctionnera bien.
The new nation of Canada had a representational government elected by Canadians, but not all peoples in Canada had the right to vote, and not everyone had equal rights under the law. Bien que le pays soit gouverné par une assemblée élue, tous ne sont pas égaux devant la loi. In 1869, Canada purchased Rupert's Land from the Hudson's Bay Company without consulting the people of the Red River. The Métis resisted by seizing Upper Fort Garry. Pour protéger leur territoire, les représentants de la rivière Rouge négocient les conditions qui mèneront à la création de la province du Manitoba. The Métis formed a provisional government to defend their territories, assert their rights, and negotiate the terms of Manitoba's entry into Confederation. Some of the promises were never fulfilled. Building the railway across sinking swamps and through soaring Rocky Mountain peaks was an extraordinary engineering feat. The railway was part of a plan to invite millions of new settlers from around the world to occupy the prairies. La politique nationale menant à la création du chemin de fer repousse les Autochtones de leur territoire millénaire au profit d'immigrants across the country, bringing with it many benefits for Canadians. Pays d'accueil prospère, le Canada acquiert une réputation enviable en matière de multi-immigrants from China. La loi de l'immigration chinoise imposée par le Canada en 1923 a interdit l'arrivée au pays de presque tous les immigrants chinois. Canada has discriminated against specific immigrant groups and the indigenous peoples who inhabited this land since time immemorial. Ce pays s'est bâti au détriment de certains groupes d'immigrants et surtout des peuples autochtones. The sustained policy to assimilate indigenous There is something in the Canadian spirit which craves a quest. Le désir de se dépasser nous pousse toujours plus loin. Explorers like John Cabot and Jacques Cartier, this meant finding the courage to face the unknown on a vast ocean. Au-delà du vaste océan, des peuples et des richesses inimaginées attendent Cabot et Cartier. On the East Coast, seafaring adventurers found peoples and riches untold. C'est toute une génération et changer le monde à jamais. Mastery of the air assured rapid travel and communication with remote regions. À la conquête des airs, nous avons repoussé les frontières de l'Is. 1914, war engulfs Europe. The best that day, but only 68 answered roll call the next morning. Il est dit que ces jeunes hommes fonçaient tête baissée, comme autant de pêcheurs dans la bourrasque luttant jusqu'au port. Les 801 Terre-Neuviens qui s'acharnent au combat. 68 répondent à l'appel le matin venu. 2 millions de femmes remplacent les hommes partis au front. L'une d'elles, l'ingénieur électrique Elsie McGill, supervise toute une équipe d'ingénieurs pour la production d'avions de guerre. During the war effort, more than 1 million women replaced men on farms and in factories. Known as the Queen of the Hurricanes, Elsie McGill gave a bold face to the newly empowered women of Canada. The first female electrical engineer in the country, she was also the first woman to work as a professional aircraft designer.
The government received official word that the invasion of Western Europe had begun. The Canadian troops were among the Allied forces who landed this morning on the northern coast of France.
A symbol of their gratitude. After Canada signed the United Nations Charter of Human Rights in 1945, it could no longer defend its anti-Chinese policies. Canada repealed the Chinese Immigration Act, but full equality was not achieved until 20 years later, when all immigration restrictions on the basis of race and national origin were finally removed. En 1947, la loi sur l'immigration chinoise a été every region of the world. Our achievements inspire a vision of the future worthy of the sacrifices of the past.
Really great. Her people and what they stand for. Outward-looking, big-hearted, and embodying Canada's inherently global values.
La plus véritable démocratie
Inspire toutes les générations de nouveaux Canadiens.
Well, we can do by the same, I guess.